So another topic that I have, this isn't necessarily something I've heard other astrologers talking about. Maybe it's a thing, but I don't know. But one thing I noticed when I started learning astrology and I started looking at my chart, like, 4 or 5 years ago now? I don't even know. But one thing I really noticed right away is that I tend to be much more identified with certain planets in my chart, and a lot of that has to do with what house they're in. So one of the reasons why in the houses, there's this idea that the 1st, the 4th, the 7th, and the 10th are the most prominent houses in the chart. This has partly to do with the fact that they are representative of, right, like if your ascendant line is the horizon when you were born, which is what it represents, and the midheaven is where the sun reached its highest point based on your location and based on the day that you were born. That's what those lines represent in your chart. So that's one of the reasons why they're considered the most prominent. So the midheaven is where the sun was at its highest at that point in the day. And then the IC is where the sun was at the lowest at that time of day. Right, which is why the midheaven represents things that are visible, things like your reputation, your image in the public, and then the IC is like your private life, right? Because when the sun is high, everything is visible. When the sun is, on the other side of the earth, things are, not visible. And same with the ascendant and the descendant, right? The ascendant is literally like where the earth and the sky were like meeting at the time of your birth, and then the descendant is where the sun set. So yeah, the ascendants were obviously also where the sun rose on the day that you were born, and then the descendants where it set. So those houses are considered quite prominent. But other houses that are very prominent are those that make some sort of major aspect to your ascendant. So, for instance, the 9th house is trining. Any planets in the 9th house are at least by sign, maybe not by degree, but at least by sign, trining your ascendant. So, anyway, I'm going to continue this in